It is quite obvious that you are a member of the Nuwapo, the Nuwapi. Am I saying it right? Because my brother Prince said it's the P now instead of the B. So he's saying it's Nuwapi. Am I saying it right? So are you a member of Dr. York and the Nuwapian Nation?
That's an actual fact. I am an honored and blessed member of the Nuwapian populace. I'm a student teacher, the master teacher, His Excellency Dr. Malachi Kobina Zodak York, Dr. Pandabag Yananan, the master teacher of the heavens and the earth. We stand firm, Ratul, unshakable on the science of Unuwa, actual facts upon Tadak. And we make the declaration to the world that the master is innocent of everything. And the manifestation we're soon to witness. Because we talking about the beast, we going head up with the devil, worldwide, international court status. All right, the last time that happened, keep a record, the last time that happened, Brother Malcolm was bringing up the United States on charges for crimes against humanity. That's the stat. This is what's going on here. So when you see the people just trying to kick dirt under the rug, they thought we wasn't going to be here 15, 16, 17 years later. But we going strong. We building buildings worldwide, Canada, Trinidad, London, we all over. We move out, stand up. Never will it stop. And honestly, I got a lot to say about that. A lot of the brothers from all the different doctrines, y'all need to pay homage instead of running around kicking dirt. Because the master teacher, with all his writings, regardless of your perception of things right now, he kept most of the doctrines afloat. Walking into everybody's doctrine, giving clarification and breakdown, arming you and giving you the foundation to go and do the research and become who you are now. This is why most of you are not Christian, Muslims, or Jews to this day. That's a fact. So, I just want to say, yeah, we here, man. We ain't going nowhere.
Okay. So how you feel, brother, just being a member of the Nuwapian set? Do you get criticized all the time? Do the negative energy come your way? Do they shut you away automatically? Because as soon as they see my brother Prince York, they automatically want to shut him down because he is the son of Dr. York. So when they find out that you are a Nuwapian, do they automatically start critiquing you off the bat?
I mean, absolutely. But the science is, most people can see from their own point of view. See, it's out of ignorance and belief. So I don't take offense to any of that. Now, what I look forward to is the brothers and sisters that's willing to ask the questions. You know what I'm saying? Do the diligent inquiries. And we can sit there and reason together. We could disagree. That's cool. I don't have a problem with that. We can have dialogue and discourse. How people feel, that's their feelings. At this point in time, where the master was when we built Tamaray, right? We were trying to unify the people to get our people free. We can argue and debate about the doctrines once we're free. Right now, everybody's now crossing the bridge that he was crossing back then when he built Tamaray in Georgia. A lot of people don't know. I had to put this out there because I haven't seen it in all the discourses within the conscious community. People forget, on our land, we had a flag from every doctrine. The Hebrew Israelites, Nation of Gods and Earths, the Moorish Science Temple.
I did not know this.
Every doctrine, we had a flag because we represent the United Nuwapian Nation of Moors at the time was United Nations for black people. And we were calling everybody to the table and nobody wanted to come to the table. And we would establish our international standing then. And we were establishing, we had a constitution, our passports, even to the point of generating our own currency. We was trying to bring our people under one umbrella, but we wanted to stay in these splinters. Now here we are 17 years later, everybody talking about put the doctrine aside, let's get free. See what I'm saying? But remember, the master teacher is always 10, 15 years ahead of everybody else. Because I'm gonna take you back to Leviathan 666 in the 80s when he had the pictures of the World Trade Center and said they was gonna bring the towers down.
What?
In the book. Showed the plan in the book. That's what we dealing with. He was talking about the microchips back then. Everybody, this nigga crazy. He was talking about the cloning back then. Oh, this nigga crazy. So when we speak, he speaks ahead of time. You know how they say we write our history 25,000 years in advance? He speaks ahead of time. And if we don't see it in our physical, we ignore it. And that's the problem with us. We wait for the pastor, we wait for our enemy to confirm it through TV, radio, or allow one of the media publications, which is controlled by the FBI and the CIA anyway, to tell us, yo, this is right and this is wrong. But that's what we got, man. We got to appreciate our prophets, and we don't need nobody else to confirm them for us.
Ashe.
How long have you been in the nation?
I've been in the nation since I was like 11, 12 years old. I had uncles. This is the crazy thing. I didn't live in a community until like the 90s when I really was going hard inside the HDM Holy Tabernacle Ministries. But I had uncles from both sides of my family that was in the community. Like in my toy box, I had Leviathan 6660, the Egyptian Book of the Dead next to my He-Man and Transformers. You see what I'm saying? So this is just a part of who I am. Now my mother and father were Jehovah's Witnesses. So they gave me the studious mentality because the Jehovah's Witnesses study. All right, that's a fact. That's real. Now my uncles brought in the Ansar to Allah Nubian Islamic Hebrews publication, and now I'm studying and applying that studious habit to the Ansar doctrine. And I'm seeing all those prophets and angels in my image and likeness, which keeps me at a point where I'm rejecting all the Caucasian viewpoints. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm definitely traveling.
Yes. Hold on 1 second. Good brother. Oh my goodness. You have been one of the most honorable kind of defenses for our good brother Dr. York that I've heard recently. So respect for that. Now I am going to ask this question, and I want to do it as gingerly as possible because this is the way things are set up. It's set up right now, and I think with our enemy's hand all working through this, that to in any way lift Dr. York's name, they try to position it that you're already casting some kind of negative things to the alleged victims. And I know we go with this word alleged. I never want to minimize anyone's hurt or pain that was legitimately harmed, but this man did do great works. I mean, Dr. York's work was touching everybody. If you were in the conscious community, if you use that name for it then, everyone was talking about what he was meant, the books, the knowledge base, they had the land. So brother, it's just, so how do you defend against that, even if you have to? But I respect what you're saying, but some people claim they've been very hurt also. So how do you walk that delicate balance?
Good question.
That's an excellent question. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, not to take it away, not from Dr. Malachi York, the master teacher, but I want people to look at, because we look at isolated incidences and we act like that's all that's going on. I want you to look at the algorithm that's set for this physical paradigm when it comes to black man of standing and status. Sex and the crime of sex is the algorithm that's used to bring them down, to character assassinate. Now, the one thing about the case against the master teacher, the so-called case, the alleged case, I'm gonna say alleged, because one thing you haven't heard is him speak. You see what I'm saying? They've convicted him. They used the public and the media to convict him and to crucify him, and to the point where he didn't get a chance to speak. I'm gonna tell you how serious the situation was. He didn't even get access to his paperwork until he was already incarcerated for 10 years. So, and you see how you never heard nobody talking about the master until after a decade or so even passed by. They had to make sure he was quote unquote buried alive before they jumped out, because everybody knew if you said something about the master teacher, there was a book coming about you. Breaking down everything about you, your mama, your papa, everything. That's a fact. We deal with the etymology, we deal with the ontology.
Oh my
We
goodness.
don't play them games. Now, I don't, listen, we don't condone no type of sexual perversion or violation to anybody, let alone some damn children.
Speak that.
And females, our job is to protect and provide for the women and children. Listen, from the day one, we've been on the front lines, even against criticism from our own people, for exposing the falsehoods and the doctrines to save their souls. You know what I'm saying? Like perfect example, we at war with these Caucasians, these crackers. We know what they did. Yet we ignore the Arabs and their conquering of us before we even came in contact with these crackers. So the Arabs are still in our communities selling drug paraphernalia, smutting out our women right now who can't make ends meet and go to the stores and they need bread for the babies, and they smutting them out until we celebrate them. That's our key right there. That's the good brother, selling swine and liquor to the people. You know what I'm saying? Listen, never that, man. The master is, like I said, those things right there, it's sad, but in time everything is going to manifest. Because I wasn't there in a lot of the situations, but the reality is that when the masters speak, everything is going to become, and he's trying to give them a chance to come out and tell the truth. That's a fact.
Okay, bro. Let me ask you a question. I have a Caucasian Jew right here, and he was like, "You not Caucasian?" Well, what are you?
What do you mean? I'm Jewish.
Well, are you a Caucasian Jew? Are you African? Or what are you?
I'm mixed.
Mixed with what?
I have Caribbean roots. I have Middle Eastern roots.
One thing about Europeans, they quick to denounce themselves.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not
I'm not saying. All right, you said you're not. But see, they have done so much wicked shit on the planet that they want to deny now. Oh no, I'm not European. I'm not European. Not you.
No, but not all Europeans. A lot of Europeans are shameful.
Oh, okay. So you're not white then,
I'm white passing.
but you're not a European.
I'm not European.
Okay. Well, we got. What are you? A Jew? Just a Jew.
I am Jewish.
All right. He's Jewish. So go ahead. Ask my brother a question.
So my question for you, sir, is what religion do you practice? Because you seem like you're a spiritually enlightened man. I'm just curious. What religion do you
He
practice?
said you seem like you mad.
You don't have to answer the question, but because I heard you talking and you have a crowd around you, you seem like you're an enlightened individual. I'm curious, are you a religious individual? And if so, what religion do you practice?
Good question.
Peace and blessings to you, bro.
Peace and blessings for you too. God bless you. God bless everyone else here.
Listen, no, I'm not a religious individual. Right?
Okay, I respect
But
that.
if you have to use the word religion, then we would say our religion is animism. Animism is the ancient African
Oh, you're into
religion.
meta-metrics.
You're putting words in my mouth. I told you what I mentioned. You're trying to classify.
Let him answer. Let him answer.
I'm telling you something. It's the oldest religion on the planet. If I had to explain, I don't have a religion, but to give you the closest proximity to understand what I bear witness to, I'm giving you animism.
So is that ancient Egyptian culture?
The oldest religion on the planet. Animism, basically the word animation, animated, came from the word animism, which basically means we bear witness that we all are the physical manifestations or incarnation of spiritual beings in flesh. All right, we're not just physical, but we're spiritual, we're mental, we're etheric. You understand? We're nine-dimensional beings.
Judaism is just entwined in that completely.
No problem, that's your thing. Cool.
It is my thing.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a 6,000-year-old thing. We're timeless.
Judaism is the oldest culture in the world.
No, I'm telling you that I know the Caucasian only go back 6,000 years old. Period. You don't exist before that.
I don't even know about that.
No, it's okay. I just told you.
When he talks, point the mic to him so he can pick him up.
All right, I got you.
But Jews are not Caucasian. They come from the Middle East. They're Semitic. That's why it's called anti-Semitic.
I understand. And semi is something that is done. You know what I'm saying? You semi half this, half that.
No,
and you just semi. I'm almost there, but I'm not.
No, the ancient Semites is you know what? You're right though. No, you're actually right because Semites are a Caucasian breakaway. You know that's why Arabs are actually considered to be white. Arabs are. If you look at the census, Arab is not a race. Arab comes under the white umbrella.
Well, Arabs are also semi. Because they're mixed also.
And they're Caucasian.
I agree with you. Okay. But yeah, so we represent the science of Wunuwa. We're Nuwapians. All right? Right knowledge.
Nubia?
Right? So Nubia, I would say yes, Nubia, only because Nubia describes a mixture of the African and the Arab.
Yeah, I took ancient African history, so I know.
Of course you did. You have to master the people that you got to conquer.
Oh my goodness.
I have to know about where everything came from.
Okay. Where did everything come from?
Africa.
Okay. So
He got that right.
are you African or are you a Jew?
I'm very smallly part African. I mean, everybody comes from Africa. We have a common ancestor.
Who's that?
It would be an African man and woman. That's bad for me anyway.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you acknowledge Jewish history and its contribution to the dissemination and destruction of African civilization?
Good point. Good question.
I don't see the connection.
White people never see the connection.
I'm not white.
You something, motherfucker. You're devil.
Listen, let me.
You can project that onto me.
Listen, you like this. You sound like you like to study, right? I'm gonna tell you to go because I don't have. Listen, knowledge is power, and you can find it anywhere. I'm gonna tell you to go research. The NOI put out a series of books called "The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews."
Nation of Islam.
Listen, yes.
But you're not part of the nation.
No, I'm not. But still, they have information in there that's pertinent to what we're talking about.
But it would be biased information.
No, No, it's come from Jewish records. It comes from Jewish records.
Jewish scholars.
Jewish scholars, Jewish libraries, Jewish universities. It's a compilation of Jewish records to show their involvement with the slave trade, with the plantation, with the cotton running.
I know, okay, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And I have read a little bit on that. And I would
It's a secret relationship between blacks and Jews.
but I'll say this.
Part 1 and part 2. Phenomenal.
I know the book. They sell it on 125.
Not the real Jews anyway, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Okay, did I answer your question? You have another question?
But you sent them to a great source of information.
No,
Start there and then come back to us. But there's information in those books that will answer a lot of questions you have.
But I would just say, can you agree on one thing, that it's possible that you could also be wrong?
About what?
Like, you agree the fact that theoretically that you could be wrong about something that you thought was a fact?
About what specifically?
I'm asking you a question in general.
Like, I can say, yeah, of course. I thought it was a good idea to have this conversation.
No.
And listen, okay. I might have been wrong. I'm just saying, that's an idea, that's a concept.
This guy's
I
too
just
much.
agreed. I just said yes.
I want to say something else though. Like, say an idea that you have now, a certain belief or philosophy you have that you believe is right and correct and based off of information. Could you accept?
And this will have to be the last answer.
Yes,
We're going to have
of
to
course.
bid
And then
you
I will walk
farewell.
away.
No
Excellent.
problem.
Okay.
Listen, that's no problem. You just asked the question.
Right. Let him answer, and then
I didn't
we'll
finish
go.
my question.
Okay.
My question is, so a philosophy or a belief or an idea you hold, do you accept the fact that you could be wrong about that? And in the future, if you learn other information, you may change your beliefs now.
Now he will answer.
Set in stone, you're not saying that what you believe now, you will always believe no matter what. You believe in the idea of growth, of knowledge, right? That you will learn more and that may change your beliefs.
And your response.
The key word is belief.
Yeah.
Believe. In Wunuwap, we explain belief as be-lie-Eve, lying to Eve seed. We don't believe in anything. We know or we don't know. We deal with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So in travelers obtaining knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? So that's why it's impossible for us to have a debate with the believer, because the believer has already confirmed that he doesn't know anything.
Ashe.
See what I'm saying? Now,
That was the last question.
Right?
So
We
you
know,
answered him.
or we don't know. And as we obtain, see, knowledge is infinite. So even the things that you know, it's veiled levels, it's degrees to that knowledge. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes we only get access to bits and pieces, just like the centerpiece of the knowledge, and then other things start to manifest and reveal itself. And if you're a true seeker of truth, then that's all you're committed to, the truth, whatever that truth is. Now my question to you is, are you ready to commit to the truth? So when you come in contact to the fact that your people are only a 6,000-year grafted experiment, are you ready to accept that and now do what you can to teach your people how to right your wrongs?
And
If
you can
come
ponder
in contact
that.
with that type of information, and you know,
And you got to get back to teaching our people. So this is the last after the
I'll
question.
say this. Jews are not perfect. Jews have can be considered to be have made mistakes, and I will not say that they are perfect people. Well, I mean it's all relative. Okay, I mean a whole lot. What is
you
that?
heard of Rabbi Finkelstein?
What? Anyway, my only point is that this is my last question, and then I'll walk
No
away.
more questions. We moving on. We trying to build.
I want to ask him, what makes you Jewish? What makes you a Jew?
What makes me a Jew?
Yeah.
I converted.
Okay.
Can't touch him there, son.
One God.
They all
You can't, but you can't put a glove on him. He covered
When
with
you say
that.
God,
He covered on
what
that.
point of reference are you
You're the
coming
God
from?
of Abraham.
Where did you find Abraham's bones to confirm that Abraham existed?
Well, that wasn't the question I asked.
No, but you asked me to believe in something that you haven't even confirmed existed.
Well, I can't prove God exists.
We're not talking about God. I'm asking about Abraham.
I've never researched Abraham's archaeology.
So you believe you talking about a belief system based on Abraham that you haven't even researched to
cultural.
see.
You're not a
It's
Jew,
your
man.
culture.
You're not a Jew.
My culture.
No,
It's your I'm
you're
not
not
you.
Jew, man.
I know.
You're not no Jew.
I'm not supposed to be you.
You're not a Jew.
You're not who I
You built
am.
the pyramids too, right?
It's debatable.
He said,
It's cultural. According to your culture, you did.
That's right.
No.
According to your Torah,
No,
your
no.
Talmud, your Mishnah.
It never says anywhere that we built the pyramids.
It doesn't show, but you don't teach that?
No, because we don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
We know that Jews were slaves in Egypt. We don't know if we were slaves.
How do you know that? Where is that at?
I mean, I'm not a historian. If you want me to
So you believe that? You don't know that?
No, I'm saying I've researched it and I found that I don't have the evidence off the top of my head. I can come back. What? You said you did research. I said I did research it.
You said you took up African studies also.
I did take ancient
So what
African
part did you
history.
study?
I studied up to. I studied up to like Nubia, but I
This is a distraction, bro.
Yeah, Sonetta, you gonna get back to the bill.
Alright, peace and blessings, brother. You shouldn't have stomped out that loose. Get you an L.
Sonetta started that stuff.
No, I just wanted to see what he was coming with. But anyway, back to my brother teacher. Get head in on that.
I was fine with it
If you want to
anyway.
finish off that conversation and give our people some information on
Yeah,
it.
that was a distraction.
Go ahead.
You know, it was cool because everybody has equal opportunity when you put things in the
Go ahead,
public.
the brother have a
Everybody,
question for you.
no problem.